Well, I'm gonna level with you. The yard looks awful. And I mean, well, it's not the yard. The border looks awful. And it's because I haven't been out here. Because every time I come out here, I see that serpent. Because it is living, I think it's living behind this rock over here. Because it always slithers in there. So I do not like serpents at all. And so, I have not been out here. I have not. The rose bushes look awful. I haven't cut them. Haven't trimmed the bushes. Haven't done anything because I don't want to run into a snake. So right now the sun, it's shady, and so I'm hoping that maybe because it's shady, it's gone in for the day. I don't know. I don't know anything about snakes. Don't know the habitats. Don't know their habits. I don't know how long they live. Like, what is the lifespan of a snake? Like, is there any chance it's dead? Probably not. But it truly looks terrible back here, just because I haven't wanted to come out here. So I told Kevin, I said, the sun's not shining. I'll come out here and pull some weeds and we'll see. Hopefully I don't run into it. But now, where do you think I start on my weed pulling journey? Right down there. I always start here and then work my way down. And that's where I'm going to start today. So hopefully, if it's out here, hopefully it hears me and it doesn't want to be near me any more than I want to be near it. And hopefully it stays up under the rock where it lives. Looked after last night, and what we did was, our Herbie is full. They haven't been taken up, as far as I know at least. They haven't been taking up the yard waste, so we just put it in the Herbie. That might sound awful to some people, but it is what it is. So our Herbies were full, but we had garbage pickup this morning. So Kevin has gone to get the Herbies, and we have to put these in. This is what we got from last night. And he's waiting on me because I forgot I'm supposed to be unlocking the gate for him. I forgot I have to unlock the gate to help you. So some of these bushes, it looks like I was brutal, and I was. What happened was, I think by the time I got here, my arm was really tired and I just went. So it's lucky I don't cut hair. But anyway, but it'll grow back. I'm not worried about it at all. Yes, it looks ugly now. It will grow back, I promise you. I show you these every single year. They look awful every single year after I cut them, and they all grow back. So I'm just glad I didn't run into any serpents last night. They all stayed under their little rocks. And so now we're gonna pick this yard waste up, and then Kevin's gonna mow the grass. Do you want to eat a blackberry, Ashley?
I don't eat fruit.
Ashley doesn't eat fruit.
I don't eat fruit. They're very good.
I don't like fruit. I like strawberries.
Is he just gonna pick it up out the ground like that?
Yeah.
Oh,
And then he'll just throw it at yours.
I'll mow it up though.
I like how these dogs are
With the mower.
like they're not in the road.
So Jennifer had lots of lambs here, and she pulled that up.
Because it didn't.
And then they had a stump here, and they had somebody come out today, and they ground the stump down. So we're gonna straighten that out. It does look really nice, though, Jennifer.
Some aren't ripe yet, but some of them are ripe. John come out here and pick them off and eat them right off the tree. Get back, boys.
Tammy, have you not ever had a blackberry? Or
Like
blackberry
that.
cobbler?
This one right,
Oh, I've had them in. I had some
this
blackberries
one right here is ready to eat.
candy.
Yeah, that's right.
Candy.
But did you know that blackberry bushes are thorns
Oh no.
And they're full of chiggers
and snakes?
and snakes.
But that's right. You can pick that off and eat it right now.
If a bird hasn't pooped on it.
Bird ain't soup on it. Here, you try one. Come on, man.
So what do you? So are you gonna actually use these and make something?
People-
his mom will come over here
Ship
and
them over and
pick
pick
them,
them
make cobbler.
and make a blackberry cobbler.
Or jelly or jam or
You
something?
can. When I was a kid, that's what we did. We would go out.
Did
to
she
Montrose.
can?
Yeah, back then, back in the old days.
Jennifer, have you ever had any desire to learn to can?
If I had something to can.
It's easier. It's easier now than it was back years ago.
No, big boy.
But if I'm gonna can something, it's gonna be something I'll eat.
You don't have to pressure cook them anymore like you did. Look, if you look up there, there's one that's got several on one.
Oh yeah.
But they're starting to turn now. This is blackberry season.
Dad said that they're selling for like $18
A gallon.
Yeah.
You get a gallon of these, and they'll sell for $18 at the farmer's market.
I want to show you Jennifer's mailbox really quick because I think it's really, really funny that I wanted one of these mailboxes since we've lived in our house. Yeah, and these are $300 or $400 for one of these mailboxes. I've always wanted one. So Jennifer just casually mentions it to my dad, and he goes and he finds her this mailbox, and he only paid $60 for it.
Yeah.
And so here I've wanted one for years, and Jennifer has one for her house. But you put your letters in that way, and then on this side is where you open it up. So I'm kind of jealous right now, but I think it's awesome.
Look, there's their customer service phone number.
I love it. I think it is awesome. John's busy, but I want to show you. This is his New Holland. Is this a tractor?
Yeah.
It's a tractor. And so he got this for his farm. And so you mow the grass with it, right?
Mow the field.
Mow the field. So you have to have this to mow with. So this doesn't do anything by itself.
No, it's the power supply that runs that.
That runs that. Okay, we're just learning. So I guess he's already mown over there, and he'll do all this. And he's just worked all day long and then come home from work, and now he's doing this. So, but I think he really, really enjoys it. And he puts like, usually he puts like headphones in or something, and he'll listen to music while he's doing it. So, yeah, I think this is probably a good wind down time for him, honestly, to just wind down and not think about anything. So now that this is Jennifer's place, the former owners, they left all this stuff in here, and she found a new snake skin last night, by the way. So it's not in this building.
I'll show it to you.
Okay. So she also found some furniture, and so I showed you in this building before, but we didn't really walk around a lot. I would take all of this metal to that place. Jennifer, couldn't you take all this stuff?
Look at the air conditioning unit.
Oh yeah, I would take all that and get money
Look,
for it.
you know what I like actually, but I don't have a place for it? That 1950s looking metal.
Could you not put that in your kitchen? Or in a bathroom?
Where am I gonna fit it at?
I don't know.
That's neat looking.
It is neat, yeah.
even need
need those lawn chairs because she could have just refurbished those.
Look at that. All you have to do is buy new cushions and look at them lawn chairs.
I would get John to take as much as possible and get money for it.
Clean it all out.
What's your microwave in your room?
That looks brand new.
It's right here.
These are little trays.
Little tray.
Yeah, that's brand new. And something's glass in there.
I do love the mini trays. Just
Here,
that I
Butch.
don't need it.
Butch. Good boy.
Yeah, so is he doing that this weekend, Jennifer? Clearing this out?
Chairs tore up. With that chair back
So I
behind
think
it.
those bees nests are around them.
Oh, is that what that is? A bee's nest?
Yeah.
There and there's nests around.
They're inactive.
There's a lot of wood.
They're inactive.
Yeah.
Are they wood
Not those. Those were like lost.
Jennifer, this table right here is exactly what we have our computers on in our bedroom. I would not get rid of it. This conference table,
You could use that for family dinner.
you should keep that table, I'm telling you. So last time we came over here, this is a different barn. Not a barn, but this storage building. And last time we were only in this room. We didn't actually go in this room. So we're going to actually go in here. But didn't you say they came over and got some stuff out of here?
Yes.
Ew.
And there might not be anything in here that you want.
Big. I don't like
Oh, look at the brass bed. That reminds me of bed knobs and broomsticks or something.
Yeah.
Way up there.
Look, there's
Oh, that scared me. Sorry.
is it?
Was that fire. It was a fire, Jennifer. It scared me.
Oh, that's one of those
That's one that
little...
Daniel Boone had.
I know, but it scared me really bad. I looked around and saw freaking fire.
Make sure you put that in your video.
Yeah. My
This
gosh.
is the weird thing. Look at the wallpaper in here.
I'd say they repurposed drywall from the house.
Okay, here's what gets me is if that snake was up there on the ceiling, it could be up there.
I'm telling you, it's a rat snake. It's not gonna bother.
Yeah, they just reused drywall from inside the house or something.
Look.
Why does my urine?
It does kind of stink in here, doesn't it?
Oh, look, you can. This is a long way off the ground, Jennifer. Did you know this was that high up?
Yeah, that's where those big concrete blocks are.
That's why we need to build a retaining wall.
There's a crock pot.
She's just touching stuff. She's just so bright.
I've got gloves on. I would love to see what the paperwork is in that box.
What's underneath of us? There's nothing underneath.
No, it's the ground.
Oh, Lord.
But anyway, see that filing cabinet right there?
Oh, it's a short filing cabinet. Yeah, it looks almost like an end table.
This is a piece of drywall right here. I don't know what that is. Metal table.
I like how Mom gasped and then Jennifer right on.
She was. Jennifer
Yeah, Jennifer wasn't. Yeah, she wasn't gonna help me. She was like getting out of the way.
She pushed her mama out of the way.
Whatever doors those are right there,
I know,
they're
there was a
nice.
snake in it. Mom,
Yeah, I bet you those are the bedroom doors to Jesse and Sydney's bedroom.
You think so?
I bet you they are. Kevin, what do you think?
That skinny one, especially.
Yes, I bet you anything those are their doors.
I saw it, and then I started screaming too. And then we came downstairs, and Dad said, "What are you all screaming about up there?" I was like, "You weren't gonna
Something
come
for
out
kids.
at all.
Obviously.
It's too hot. I can't breathe." Wait, come on my hand.
Is something in that?
I'm wondering. It's a microscope from school. Take that to Uncle Kevin, will you? Tell him to look at it.
Look, that's
Kevin, take that out and look at it. That's a microscope from a school. It has a number on it and everything.
That's one of them friendship trees.
Yeah, you could reuse that.
I will.
Jesse, you like looking through papers and stuff?
She wouldn't want this. The top of it's missing, but
it's not like you can't put a top on it. That looks like some kind of...
See if there's makeup in it, Jesse. Open it up. What's in the box?
How do I open it?
Yeah, just like that. See if there's anything in it. Okay.
You want to leave this old microscope in here or what?
Oh, it's somebody's trinkets. I would pull it out there because that might work. Oh, that's somebody's, look, a Barbie. But that was the mirror. Look, Jesse, this was the mirror that went right here.
look. Too bad this is rusted and got a dent in it. It's old.
Strawberry shortcake.
That's old.
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh, it's a Backstreet Boys keychain.
See what's in it. Open it up. You found a Backstreet Boys keychain?
Yeah.
That is hilarious. You should keep that.
I'm keeping this clip. This is super cute.
More strawberry shortcakes. And they're in better shape.
I would keep the ones that are in good shape, Jennifer.
I don't want them. I want them. You can have them. Somebody probably buy them.
Somebody probably would buy them.
It's probably vintage. But it's too much. I just don't want to do with it. It's too much for me to do with. There's other tins in here.
Oh my god,
Will you give this to Uncle Kevin? Angela Jackson, June 4th, 1991.
Look at this one. Hey, it's rusted on the bottom.
Oh, that's neat. Is there anything inside of it?
Probably another 10.
Yeah. I don't want it though.
No,
I would.
10s are a pain in the butt.
This is somebody's old school books. I bet this was the bottom to a desk because it looks like it had a top over the top of it. And yeah, I bet that was under a desk. Yeah, and there's no telling what that is.
This is toys.
Toys? Oh, we have to look through that.
No, these are.
If you find toys, I'll take them outside and look at them out in the open.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go look at those.
But
Hand them to me and I'll take them out. Okay, so Jennifer found a bag of toys.
I found a Backstreet Boys keychain.
and strawberry shortcake.
Strawberry shortcake.
That one's dented, but the other ones are in good shape.
There's a lid to that.
Jesse, will you open that up? Show us what's in it.
Oh yeah, it's a bottom.
See if there's any treasures in it.
Well, let me do it. I got gloves on.
Oh, are you worried about it?
I have a big spider in it.
Mega Blocks, and those are fine. They're completely clean.
Oh, I used to love those.
Yeah.
ones.
That is one of those.
Extra sketch?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an extra sketch.
Yep.
Which these are hard to come by nowadays.
There's a big truck in here.
Tonka.
Yeah, this is like a preschooler. Oh, there's tools, little kids' tools.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of little kids' toys.
Ashley, will you hold this stuff?
Oh, that's cool.
What does she want their hair for? You can't put that in here. You have to wash it first. There's a hair on
I'm
it.
gonna put it under some hot water and scald it. I want to itch my face, but I touched
See,
it.
if you had Gavin and me out here, this is the kind of stuff they would play with this stuff.
Oh yeah.
They make them.
Jesse, those go on that train. Those characters, and there's more in the bag. Yep, that's exactly where they go. And I guarantee you, when you pull it, they bounce up and down. Yeah, there's more characters in there. Look, there they are. That's all of them.
In case you're wondering, it's going to be 92 degrees on Saturday.
That's actually really cute.
Hope they don't move.
Several horses. Look. There's another train.
Oh, this isn't one.
I've never seen a toy like that before with the train. So Kevin and I have a couple lists we're going to go through for you, but I wanted to tell you, just in case you missed it, usually I do just the weekly vlog and it comes out every Monday. I did have one that came out
late Wednesday night. So I hadn't planned to do that, but I just had extra footage this week, and I knew that if I tried to put it all in one vlog, it was going to be very, very lengthy. So I thought, well, we'll do a midweek vlog, and that will be fun. So just in case you missed it, you would want to go back and check that out, because I did a video of my sister picking out her granite, and I actually showed her granite countertops at the beginning of that video. So even if you just want to tune in for that part, it's like 5 minutes in the very beginning of the video, then you'll see the difference between before and after. It's a huge difference. And then I wanted to tell you about a couple shows that we've been watching. We found a new show. Now, we've only seen one episode, but we have others to watch. It is an Australian show. It's called Emergency EU, or AU. I don't know why I said EU. AU, because it's Australia. So it says in the very beginning of the show, there's like a warning that it could be very graphic and all this stuff. But really it wasn't. It was more mentally disturbing, I think.
Well, they showed it. It was just from a distance.
From a distance. So this is going to be really, really gross, but I'm going to tell you. This man works on some kind of equipment at work where it like has a roller, like maybe he's like pushing something through a machine, and he wears gloves. So he was pushing something through this machine that rolls, and his glove, the machine got his glove, and it caught his glove, and the only way to save him from losing his entire hand was to pull it. And so basically two of his fingers were degloved, and then one of them, his pinky, he almost lost it completely.
It was just bone.
And they showed it from a distance though, so you saw that yes, it was red and bloody and all that, but they didn't show it up close, which was good.
I wanted to see it up close.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen it up close too, honestly.
It's weird.
Because it did say it was going to be graphic, and I thought, oh, they'll show it up close, but they never did. But what I thought was interesting, the reason I'm telling you about this, is because they did something I've never heard of before. His friends saved the skin from his fingers because they hoped that the doctors, they didn't know if they'd be able to reuse it or not. You know, like if your teeth get knocked out, they tell you to put your teeth in what, milk, and take it to the hospital. I've heard of milk. So they couldn't, long story short, they couldn't save the skin. So the doctors literally sewed his hand to his stomach to regrow skin for his fingers. So his hand.
Yeah, they were basically going to let it sit. It was actually more in his groin area.
Yeah.
But they were going to let the skin grow, kind of heal up, where they kind of tucked it in a pocket, and they were just going to basically cut out skin around each finger and just fold them over and make
I thought it was fascinating. Fascinating. Loved it. So Kevin and I love the medical shows. In America, I've said it before, I think they are so worried about being sued. People are very, very sue happy. And I think they're so worried about being sued that they don't do shows like that here a lot. So we love the ambulance shows, the emergency shows, the ones that they do in Australia, the ones that they do from the UK.
They're interesting.
They're so good. And
the ambulance shows get a little repetitive after a while because they're kind of doing the same things, but I still enjoy it.
For me. But I even love the one, I forget the name of it, where it's in the UK and they just go follow them to the doctor's visits.
Oh, GPs?
Yeah, the GPs. I love the GP's office. And last time it was a new set, a new office. And I love it. I think it's just so interesting. It would be like if they filmed at your doctor's office.
Just all the different cases they see.
Yeah, it's just interesting. But, you know, they can't do that here, unfortunately. But we love those. Another show that we've been watching, I said 2 shows. That was only 1 show. Another show that we've been watching.
Shows.
Titan Games.
Oh, yeah.
If you like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, which we do, we think he's awesome. Titan Games is it's such a good show. And what's funny is Ashley actually knows a lot of the people on these from Instagram because she follows these like bodybuilder people, these girls with all these muscles and that power lift and stuff like that. She follows a lot of these people. So they'll get on Titan Games and I'll be like, hey, do you know so-and-so? And she's like, yes. If you have not watched it, it is incredible. And it's so, it's very entertaining. And I find myself on the couch every week just yelling out.
Rooting for somebody.
Yes, I'm always rooting for somebody. And it startles Chapel, because Chapel's usually sitting either between us or up above us. And it just startles him to death. But I absolutely love it. It's a terrific show. The whole family can watch it. It's very clean.
It's a competition.
Yeah, it's
like an awful athletic competition.
Yeah, and it's wonderful. So anyway, I wanted to tell you about those two shows.
There's no physical contact or anything like that. It's just
no. So
feats of strength, really, more than anything.
It really is.
I mean, they're racing each other usually, but it's not.
It's
like they're punching each other or kicking or anything like that.
No, so it's good for little bitty kids could watch the show, and you never know who, the kids that might motivate to want to do different things with their life because they saw stuff like this. And it's a very, I think, a family-oriented show anyway.
Yeah.
They show the people's families, and they show how they got to be where they are. They also have titans that The Rock has chosen. So like these are people that have been in like football or very athletic people, or that have been in Olympics, stuff like that. So it's a good overall show.
It's a good show. Chapel's over wore me to death, rubbing against my feet.
He's like, why are you sitting on this side of the table?
Yeah.
I told Kevin, I said, let's sit on this side of the table, because we always do reviews and box openings on that side of the table. So let's do it on this side of the table, just to have something different behind us. So you get the refrigerator behind us. So the list that we're going to do today, we have 3 lists. We're going to do our favorite sitcoms from the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
3 separate lists.
And some of them we did take a couple liberties with.
Just by year, usually, for my case.
Yeah, mine too. But by sitcoms, by that I mean like 30-minute shows.
Although I might have got an hour-long one in here. I don't remember.
If it was like The Love Boat was one of my favorite shows from the 80s. The Love Boat will not be in here because it's an hour-long show.
Was that an 80s or 70s?
It might have been. I'd say it started definitely
Probably
70s.
started in the 70s.
It's probably mainly a 70s
That and
show.
Fantasy Island.
Right.
Gilligan's Island. I saw all those on the list, and it's like, yeah.
Gilligan's Island's only half an hour.
Yeah, but it was started earlier than the 70s.
It was in the 60s.
It was in the 60s.
Yeah, so it didn't. It's not on my list because it was earlier.
Yeah.
So we pretty much tried to stick with the
Yeah,
years.
pretty much half an hour. Like I said, I might have an hour-long one here and there, but I don't think so.
Okay, so we're going to go from our 10th place to number 1, and we're going to start with the 70s.
Okay.
So you go first this week. What's your number 10?
The Facts of Life.
I said Laverne and Shirley.
Okay.
And Laverne and Shirley, I wrote down the year in case you're curious.
I didn't.
It's okay. Laverne and Shirley started in 76.
Yeah. These are basically things that because you remember, I was a kid, a little kid. These are basically ones that I remember watching regularly that actually have meaning to me. I mean, we watched a lot of other ones, but yeah.
And let me just say, a lot of these that are on my list, I like Kevin, I watched them as a kid, but I don't think I could watch them today.
No, most of these I would not watch today.
There's no way some of these
I'd be
I could
bored
sit
stiff.
and watch. Yeah. Number 9.
Different Strokes.
Okay. I said The Jeffersons. The Jeffersons
Yeah, I saw The Jeffersons.
came out in 75.
Yeah, that's not on my list.
Okay. Well, I didn't say Different Strokes.
Alice.
Was your number 8?
Mm-hmm.
Number 8 was Alice.
That's funny when we match up.
And Alice,
because out of all the shows out there,
Alice came out in 1976, and I loved Alice.
You know, I watched that mostly in reruns, like later on, than I did probably when it was on.
That's one of those shows that I don't think I could watch now.
No,
but I don't
so
think
silly.
I don't think I could watch Laverne and Shirley now either.
No,
I really don't. Okay,
or The Facts of Life, or Difference. I don't think I can watch any of these now.
What was your number 7?
I put MASH. Technically, MASH is really not a sitcom, but it was anyway. That's my number 7.
Okay, my number 7 is Happy Days, and I do not think I could watch Happy Days now.
But Happy Days was my number 6.
Happy Days came out in 1974.
Yeah, that's my number 6.
Okay, my number 6 is Three's Company, and it started in 1976.
Okay.
But I really did love, what's his name? I can't think of his name. Jack Ritter.
Jack Ritter.
Is that his real name?
John Ritter.
John Ritter. John Ritter. Yeah, John Ritter. And he also played in The Waltons. And he was such a great actor. And so I loved him. And like shows like Little House on the Prairie and The Waltons and stuff, those aren't on the list because those are hour-long shows. Okay, so...
Not quite comedies either.
Right. Right. Yeah, they're not comedies.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Sanford and Son.
Okay.
I used to love that show.
My number 5 is All in the Family, and it came out in 1971.
See, I never really watched that show.
I watched it in repeats.
Yeah, even then, I saw a lot of them, but I never really watched it.
They did a good job with it. They really did. Okay.
Or Mork and Mindy.
Okay, I kind of took liberties with this one because this one is one that I love from the 70s, but it's not from my childhood, and it's from the UK. So I have discovered this show as an adult, but it is from the 70s, and that is Fawlty Towers.
I saw that all those.
And it came out in 1975.
It is pretty funny.
It is hilarious. Loved it. And what was your number 4?
Mork and Mindy.
Okay.
My number 3, although I'm tempted to change some of these. Anyway, I'll just say
You can change whatever you want.
WKRP in Cincinnati.
Okay.
I loved that show. That was hilarious.
Okay. My number 3 is MASH.
Okay.
And to be fair, Kevin and I are working on our way through it right now.
Yeah, you've never even seen it.
I have not seen. I only know what I've seen so far. And
she didn't watch it when she was younger.
No, anytime that Kevin and I have time, somebody asked me, "Are you still working on The Simpsons?" And I said no, because anytime we get time for a half-an-hour show, I want to watch MASH.
Yeah, so we might come back to The Simpsons.
And I love Alan Alda. I think he's so cute. But it does amaze me, I have to say.
And if anybody don't spoil anything in MASH, don't say anything about it in the comments because she hasn't watched anything.
No, I haven't seen anything. But it amazes me in MASH that they were horn dogs.
Oh, constantly.
And this was
chasing after the nurses like crazy.
And this was out. I mean, this was out in the 70s, and I would have thought that people would have been more uptight about the show. I mean, they were being sexually harassed. These women were sexually harassed all throughout the show.
Yeah, that show can be made now.
No, it just amazes me, and it's like, I can't believe that this was, well, I'm just thinking of my elderly neighbor that used to live next door. She was like 80 years old, and MASH was her favorite show. And I'm looking at it through Miss Taylor's eyes, thinking, Miss Taylor watched this show, and they're talking about sleeping with all these women and wanting to get with them and all this stuff. And it just amazes me.
Well, back then, it's definitely not politically correct now. Back then, they tried to do it in a kind of a funny way, you know, like I'm flirting with these or I'm attacking you. Basically, this guy was forcing himself on this one woman. The one that came down, the plastic surgeon, the nose guy.
Yeah.
He came down, was basically sexually attacking Hot Lips.
Yeah.
And just the name Hot Lips.
Margaret.
And they were making it like funny, you know, like haha, it was funny he was doing this and she didn't like it, ha ha ha. And nowadays
Kevin
it would
and
be
I were like, that's not fun. We didn't think it was that.
It was like, that's awful.
It's horrible that he was, So anyway.
So that show could not be made the way it is.
No.
Now,
a lot of these shows I don't think could be made.
That's true.
All in the Family would not float.
Oh no, because he was as racist as could be.
No.
It was supposed to be about his growth though.
Yes, and I do think I'm not saying
it got better as it went on.
I'm not saying I don't think it would be healthy to do it now, because I do think it's good to show that people can grow and people can get better. I do think it's good to show that.
I mean, he was 100% racist.
Yes. So I'm not saying I think it would be bad to show it. It's just I don't think they would.
Right.
Okay, number 2.
Laverne and Shirley.
Oh, really?
I love Laverne and Shirley. That was one we watched every single week.
I liked it too, but just not up where you
And
did.
1000% I could never watch it.
Because for
now.
me, that was my number 10.
Yeah, I could not watch it nowadays.
My number 2 is the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
See, we never watched that.
And that started out right in 1970.
Yeah.
And Mary Tyler Moore will now and forever remind me of my mother.
Yeah.
Because when my mom was young,
She looked just like.
she very much looked like Mary
Yeah.
Tyler Moore.
But see, your
And-
mom watched that show when you were a kid. See,
Yes.
my parents never watched that show.
Right, so that's why I grew up with it, is
Yeah.
because my mom loved it and she shared it with me.
Yeah, I knew about it, but we never watched it.
Right, and it's a terrific show, and honestly, I do think I could watch that one now.
It's pretty clean.
Yeah.
That Dick Van Dyke Show, that was pretty good.
Yeah, but that was out in what, the
Oh, that
late
was probably
50s or 60s?
Yeah, but it's still
So
pretty
see,
funny.
we could do other lists if I had gone back. We could have gone
Yeah, but
back
even
further.
then, all that stuff is going to be repeats. You'd have to add a 30-year span. To
And I
get
don't
that.
think people that watch my video
Probably know half of that.
know half those.
Unless you watch
Okay.
it on Nick at Night or something.
I don't think Nick at Night's a thing
Thing.
anymore, is it? It was.
We don't have that cable.
Back when the OJ trial was a thing, Nick at Night was a thing. Okay,
My number one's Three's Company.
you didn't name my number 1 on your list anywhere.
What is it?
And it's really bothered me.
What?
The Brady Bunch.
No, I never watched the Brady Bunch.
It came out in 1969, so I took some liberties there.
Yeah,
It
but that's a
started
show-
in 69 and it ran through the 70s.
I probably saw every episode, but it wasn't one that I considered like a great show.
I love it. I think I would be decent probably at Brady Bunch trivia questions because I love it so very, very much.
Yeah, not me.
And what your number 1 was?
Three's Company.
Three's Company. Okay,
Oh,
so
that was-
I mean that's a good one. But yeah, I can't believe the Brady Bunch did not even make it on your
No.
list. Okay, so now we have the 80s, and I'm gonna let you go first again.
Oh, you want me
Number
to go?
10.
Night Court. Watched it all the time.
I knew he would put that. I did not put that because I didn't watch it. I
I watched it every day. Well, you know, when you're talking about the 80s, it was mostly my parents watching it, and I just watched it with them.
right.
Yeah, same thing with you, I'm sure. But yeah, Night Court, we watched it all the time. It was funny.
Mine number 10 was Who's the Boss,
See, I didn't put that one on mine.
And-
Because that's one I could never get into.
and my parents did not watch that. My parents actually watched very few of these shows.
Who's the Boss is one I kind of caught in repeats here and there, but not very often.
Yeah, my mom liked to read a lot, so we did watch certain shows together. But she liked to read, so that's what she.
That
was
one and
doing.
Charles in Charge, I never watched that one either.
I like that. It's not on my list, but I
Okay.
like that. Scott Baio.
Yeah, I
he's
never watched
cute.
that one. It's too cheesy.
He looks just like that guy in Superstore. So cute.
Yeah, I remember.
The guy in Superstore, the main girl, Amy's
Oh,
boyfriend.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a doll. He's a little doll. Okay, number 9.
Family Ties.
Okay, I put Kate and Allie.
I never watched that.
Okay, it was a cute show. I love the house that they lived in. So for me, it was all about these two women were living together with their children.
Oh, well, you know, I may have seen a few episodes of that. But
I liked it. I thought it was good.
that and Sisters always kind of reminded me of each other, the same show.
Yeah, but Sisters was an hour-long drama.
I know, but they always kind of remind me of each other.
Okay, number 8.
Empty Nest.
Okay.
That was probably did not make your list.
It didn't at
But
all.
we loved that show.
But I did watch it.
Yeah.
I did watch that show, but it didn't make my list. My number 8 was Designing Women.
Yeah, see, that one didn't make mine.
Okay. And
And that was probably an hour long
And
show.
we will, no, it wasn't.
Really?
Designing Women's a half an hour. It's a sitcom.
I would have thought it was an hour long.
No.
Maybe it just seemed like it was on for an hour.
No. Well, we're going to be watching it at some point. But we've got a lot of MASH to go yet. So, okay, your number 7,
Full House.
Full House.
Did you?
Yes. Full House, number 7.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good show, but it wasn't.
Ashley
top.
owns every single one of those. She owns the entire series and has watched it many times over.
Yeah, especially when she was younger.
Okay, number 6,
Where's number 6? Oh, Growing Pains.
Growing Pains.
It
That's funny. Growing Pains was a
was a
really-
good, clean show.
Yes, that's exactly how I was going to describe it.
Yeah.
It was a nice, clean show and about a nice family.
Yeah.
Okay, number 5.
I could say the same thing about this one, The Cosby Show.
Okay,
It was a nice, clean show about a good family. You know?
I put, for my number 5, I put Family Ties.
Yeah, see, I had that.
Okay, number 4.
Roseanne.
I put The Facts of Life.
Ooh, no.
Really?
I'll watch The Facts of Life, but yeah.
The Facts of Life actually came out in 1979, so I did take a little bit of liberty there, but it was mainly on.
Most of the show was in the 80s.
But I really liked The Facts of Life, and my favorite was always Blair, and I thought it was the coolest thing when she actually was on Survivor. So, do you remember when she was on there? Okay, number 3.
Cheers.
And I put The Cosby Show.
Okay.
The Cosby Show was a show that we watched every week as a family.
We did too. Most of these were actually.
And that would be our Italian night.
So you'd have spaghetti.
We'd have spaghetti.
Yeah.
And the TV was here in the kitchen. It's set in front of this window behind Kevin. It was a little TV. It was probably this big.
10-inch TV.
Yeah, it was a little bitty thing, a big box in the back, you know. But we would, Mom and Dad would make spaghetti, and we would sit right here at the table and watch the Cosby Show. Yeah, that's that. And you know, it's funny because if you think about it, that probably came on at 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
So we were eating late.
Yeah, we always ate late too.
Kevin and I.
Because Dad didn't get home till 7 o'clock.
We eat at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
By the time 8 o'clock rolls around, we're getting hungry for a snack.
Yeah.
So that's just amazing how the time has changed. Okay, number 2.
Wonder Years.
I remember that.
Wonder Years was good. It was a good
The
clean
Wonder
show too.
Years was an hour though.
It probably was. I told you I probably had a few of those in
I'm
there.
pretty certain the Wonder Years.
And it's not
was
technically probably a sitcom, although
Wasn't that
it's
the
more
one
of a
that
drama.
Andrew owned and loved?
Andrew watched every one of them.
Andrew was crazy about Winnie. Was that her name? Andrew had a crush on her.
Yeah. Well, he was real little.
And he went to school with a little girl that looked
Kinda looked like her, yeah.
Yeah, and so he had a crush on her too. So I think that, you know. My number 2 is Roseanne.
Yeah. Roseanne was a good show.
And Roseanne was one that we also watched as a
We
family.
did too. We watched it together.
That was a good, just something to watch that the whole family could
I think
watch.
everything I mentioned we watched as a family except for my number 1.
What's your number 1?
Married with Children.
Okay.
I love that show.
Yeah.
It's
and
so
you
crazy.
like her, Katie Seagal, anyway.
I do.
And
but
now,
back then, I wasn't watching it
so
because
it's
of her.
funny because Katie Seagal was in Married with Children, but now she's in The Connors, which used to be the Roseanne.
Yeah.
My number 1 is The Golden Girls.
Yeah, see, I never watched that one.
And The Golden Girls came out right in the middle of the 80s. It came out in 85, but but we've watched that together.
I know, but I never watched it. I told you, my list came from more things that we watched when I was a kid.
See, mine have come from just like Faulty Towers. I didn't discover that until the 90s.
No, but I agree, it is a good show.
Yeah.
But the Golden Girls, I still wouldn't have picked that on my list. I still think all the other things I have I like better.
The Golden Girls, though, I did watch in my childhood because my mom watched it, so I watched it with my mom. Okay. And the 90s. The 90s.
You can go first this time.
Okay. I put The Nanny. The Nanny.
That's one I think we watched a little bit when we were together.
Yeah.
Mine was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, even though I didn't really watch a lot of it.
I've never seen it. I know
Really?
I've heard the theme song many times,
Oh, yeah.
and I love the theme song. I couldn't sing it to you though, like a lot of people can, because I never watched the show.
I think I watched pretty regularly the first couple seasons, and then after that it kind of went.
But you have to think, in the 90s,
we were married.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, exactly. We were married, and it's like we weren't sitting in front of the TV a lot watching a lot of shows. No, we weren't.
We do now.
Okay, number 9 is Home Improvement, and we watched it together.
Drew Carey's show.
You remember watching Home
yeah.
Improvement?
Do you remember Drew Carey?
I do. We watched. Yeah, and it had that woman with all that makeup.
I don't remember.
You don't remember I think she was a secretary. She's a big woman.
Oh yeah, and she would wear all that makeup like Tammy Faye.
Yes.
Yeah, I do remember.
Mimi.
Yeah, that was her name.
Don't ask me where I pulled that from. Somewhere. Her name was Mimi. Okay. Number 8 is Mad About You.
Mad About You.
Yeah, and we watched it together.
And you said you've tried to watch it since then. You just can't do it.
I did. I was working my way through it, and I found that I was making myself watch it because.
Yeah, I said, why are you making yourself watch it?
Yeah,
If you're not enjoying it, well, don't watch it.
It didn't have the appeal to me. She actually, the wife, Jamie, she actually got on my nerves. Being the age that I am now, when I was young, I thought she was terrific. Now looking at her personality in that show, it's like, nah, I couldn't be married. I couldn't be around her. You know, I couldn't hang with her because she just got on my nerves. Okay. Number 7 is Friends.
Coach.
I like Coach.
Yeah.
It's not on my list, but I like Coach.
That was a good show.
Ashley owns the whole series of Friends. I don't think she is as Friends crazy as her friends are, but she likes Friends.
Yeah.
Number 6 is Keeping Up Appearances. So I took liberties. That's one from the UK.
That's a good
That's
show.
one that I found as an adult. I probably found it in the 90s as well. It started in 90, but it is hilarious.
Yeah. They played it on KET a few times.
They did,
Yeah.
and that's where I first saw it as KET.
Mine's King of the Hill, which is technically a cartoon, but that's okay.
That's okay. Number 5 is Seinfeld.
Mine is Friends.
Seinfeld actually started in 89.
It did.
But we own all of Seinfeld. We own the entire series of that. And if you watch the first few episodes and quit,
it's
it
horrible.
wasn't that good.
Almost the whole first season.
You have to
wasn't very
really keep. You just have to keep watching Seinfeld.
good. They made adjustments after those first.
Because it really got
Little bit.
to be a really good show.
Yeah.
Okay.
So mine was number 5 with Friends.
My number 4 is King of Queens.
See, yeah, I remember a few of those.
I learned about King of Queens not from the first running. We watched it in reruns.
Yeah.
And it would come on. We would have dinner at like 6 o'clock, and it would come on at 6 or 6:30, and we would watch it at a different house we had. We could see the TV from the kitchen, and we would turn it on, and it was a really good show. Leah Remini played in that.
Mine's Home Improvement was number 4.
Okay. My number 3 is King of the Hill. So even though it's a cartoon, I absolutely love. I didn't name it in our cartoons last week just because I really wasn't looking at adult cartoons. Now last week for a favorite cartoon, Kevin named Ren and Stimpy.
Definitely an adult cartoon.
That is an adult cartoon. That is not for children. And I just wasn't looking at them that way. I was only looking at kids shows. King of the Hill, though, for me, it's an adult cartoon. It is awesome. Mm-hmm. Although the whole family can watch it.
Oh, yeah.
And I would watch all of those right now.
Mm-hmm. You started it.
I have watched Yeah, I have watched them.
What did you say, number 3?
That was number 3.
Mine's Frasier.
My Frasier's number 2.
Okay.
Love Frasier.
Frasier's a good,
Ashley
clean
has
show,
found
too.
Frasier on Netflix.
She watched them all.
She loved it. Absolutely loved Frasier.
Yeah, she watched every one of them.
So that was my number 2.
My number 2 is Seinfeld.
Okay. And my number 1.
I wonder if we have the same one.
I bet we did, and we watched it together.
Everybody Loves Raymond?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Everybody Loves Raymond.
But
it's so good.
you know, Everybody Loves Raymond was a good show.
I could watch it now.
That was a very, very good show. And I could watch those again, too, because they were pretty fun.
Hilarious.
There was one we didn't mention that both of us watched religiously. It has Bill.
When did that come on?
It had to have been in the 90s.
That would have been in my favorites.
It would have been mine, too, but I didn't see it in the list. It wasn't Stand By Me. It wasn't... I don't remember what the name it was.
You can read me, baby, like an open book. Somebody did my track, but just one look. So when the lights go down,
Yeah, that...
and when it comes to you and me, girl. What is the name of the show? I know the whole song.
Hold on.
You got to look it up. It's
We're gonna
Jamie.
pause.
It's
Hold on.
Jamie Gertz.
Hold
We're
on.
gonna look it up. Okay, the list.
We figured it out.
The list will remain the same because the show that we were both thinking of came out in what year?
2002.
2002. It was called Still Standing. And I could watch that right now.
Oh, yeah, it was good.
It has, if you've ever seen The Full Monty, the main guy in The Full Monty, which is like one of the best movies, and it's from the UK.
He was the king in Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah, he was.
The first king in the first season.
In the very first season.
Yeah.
He plays the main character with Jamie Gertz. So if you love Jamie Gertz, if you've ever seen The Lost Boys, yeah, she's so pretty. But they made a really good couple, and the kids, the cute kids, and so it was a really good show.
It was kind of like Roseanne, but not as disrespectful.
I agree.
It was like a more I mean, they were basically lived the same. They were poor and stuff like. They were fighting
Right.
through things every day, but it wasn't quite as disrespectful. That's the best way I could say it.
No,
you
so
know.
if we had done a top 10 of like 2000 shows,
Yes, because I was thinking for sure that would have been right there. But
yeah, so
but
that's why. So
that's
the
one we
list
would
is
watch
the
while we
same.
watched TV.
Oh yeah, we would watch while we ate.
While we ate. We would watch TV. We would watch while we ate dinner.
Yes.
And the kids they'd take a bite, turn
Oh.
around and watch the TV.
Oh
It was
yeah, the
hilarious.
kids loved it too. Andrew and Ashley would watch that now if it came on.
I
because
think
they
Andrew
love
would.
it.
I don't know if Ashley would, but Andrew would for sure.
I think Ashley would work her way through it just like she has other
Probably.
things on Netflix.
Yeah.
Because she'll get an idea for a show just like Frasier in her head, and she'll work her way all the way through it. But that's funny that Everybody Loves Raymond was both of our favorites.
That's a good show.
If you can catch it somehow in reruns, if it's one that you've never watched,
They might even have it streaming.
it
somewhere.
is. It's just hilarious. It is a hilarious show. So we could definitely do this with like drama shows. Is that what you would call them? If you did your like top 10 hour-long shows from the 70s, 80s, 90s, we could absolutely do that because
Everybody Loves Raymond was in '96, by the way.
because I know right now an hour-long show from the 80s that I own. I own the whole series, and it would definitely go on the list. What?
You can stream Everybody Loves Raymond on that new Peacock network, the NBC
okay.
one, or DirecTV has it.
Okay, well,
Or Sling, if you have Sling TV.
it was funny because before my sister moved, I walked into her old house and to give her something, and she has this huge TV, and it's almost like a movie screen on her wall, and playing on it was the Brady Bunch, and I just thought,
What a waste of high-end TV.
oh no, I didn't think that. I said, how cool is that? I said, I can't believe you're sitting here watching the Brady Bunch. And she said, oh yeah, because it's good, clean TV, but it was so funny because when we were kids, we used to watch it, you know, on a small screen or that big monster
Console.
We had a console. So,
We did too.
So
It was like a piece of furniture.
It was a piece of furniture.
It's wood.
And it was set out in the den. And yes, it was a huge piece of furniture. And so we would watch it on that thing.
Yeah.
And it seems like way back, you had to wait for those things to warm up.
Just for a little while. Yeah, you would turn them on and you have the screen kind of warm up.
So it was neat for me to walk into her house, and it's like, it's just so nice looking. It's like, wow, if we had only had that when we were kids, it was just the neatest thing.
We were in a Teams meeting the other day, and everybody kind of, well, there was like 75 people in there, but a bunch of us had our screens on, you know, our video on, and they've got it set up to where you do a 3x3, so everybody looked like you were in the Brady Bunch.
The Brady Bunch.
And I wish you don't never know where you're at on the screen because things shift around.
Right.
It'd be funny if you were always in the middle and you could go, you know, look around and stuff, but they don't lock them in place. So.
You just gave me an idea for a list we could do. Game shows. Because that reminds me of Hollywood Squares.
Yeah, where they look around.
I loved Hollywood Squares with Paul Lynde, was that his name?
Yeah, and the comedian.
And that
The one that
puppet was
died.
on there.
Maud.
Was that her name?
I think so. It was in Maud. Who was the comedian?
Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers. Yeah, she was in there all the time.
It was such a good show, the Hollywood Squares. And I don't know that these kids today, it makes me say, I don't know that they watch a lot of game shows.
No.
I doubt it. I don't think so. But when I was a kid, game shows were big.
Especially in the mornings.
The Price is Right, and you know, even Kevin and I went through a period where we were watching Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, and so. But when I was a kid, I think the game shows were very popular as like a morning time TV.
Mm-hmm. They've tried to do some game shows at night, prime time, but it just doesn't work out very well sometimes.
I love that Supermarket Sweep.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And what was the one with the whammies? And they would
Pressure
say
Luck.
Pressure
That
Luck.
still comes on, by the way.
Pressure Luck still comes on.
I saw somebody posted something about it the other day.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, it's like a new version of it.
Well, that could be a fun list to make too, is game shows. But anyway, once again, I've told you all this before, and I mean it. We love hearing your responses. Even if you live in other countries, you know, it still is great to hear. Maybe it's something that we can watch over here. You know, if it's a #1 of yours, maybe we can find it here. You never know.
And I'm sure you've heard of most of these shows, even if you're overseas. Somewhere.
Yeah. So let us know if you have time to write down your favorites. Let us know in the comments.
Even if you don't do 10, you can do 5.
Yeah, you can do your top 5 if
Or
you don't
top
have
2 or
time. Yeah, if you don't have time to do them all, just do your top 3 or something like that. Because we will still enjoy them, and you might name something that we were like, oh man, we forgot all about that. So I hope you enjoyed the vlog this week. Like I said, if you missed the midweek vlog, go back and check it out, especially if you're interested in my sister's new countertops, and we'll see you next week.